Welcome to the Soul Brothers having a conversation. I'm your man Will B, my man Sherrod Coyne. We have a special guest tonight. His name is Johnny Jackson. We're gonna be talking about some different things. Sherrod, what's the topic tonight, man?
My son hates me. Single mom's talking about my son hates me.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with someone, and comment when you get ready. And we'll go ahead and have you that feedback as soon as we get a chance. Let's go. Soul Brothers having a conversation.
I'm gonna need y'all to help me understand why my son hate me.
I finally came to the conclusion and had to accept the fact that my oldest son hates me. And I can't be mad at him for it because it's my own fault.
I am just really sad today. My son and I, we don't talk much. I try with him. He just doesn't like me. I was 19 when I had him, and I made a lot of mistakes as a parent, and I've been trying to make up for it. And he just hates me so much. And it hurts so bad. He's my only child. And I just want him to love me, and he doesn't. He just hates his mother. It's so fucking hard.
It is extremely painful to love a child that does not love you back, especially after you have been really good to them.
Y'all know I'm a mama for my oldest child is 17-year-old, and I'm just gonna say I feel like Jit don't like me. I feel like Jit do not like me, and I can't fathom why.
Man, that's deep, man.
That's
They
deep.
going through it, but the question is, what were they doing as a mom that had the gentleman or the son to dislike them? That's the question because we don't know the backstory, and I know it's hard for a woman to raise a child, especially a young man, as a man because they have this perception of what a man should be, but they haven't really been around a man or had a man around to show them what a man should be. So maybe that resentment is coming from the young man because they didn't have that male figure around. And mom has these uh, ideologies of what it is a man should be. You feel me? So that's the question. What was going on and what did they do? They, even though they said they was doing all these things and taking care of them, what constitute or what made this young man? I wish I could hear from one of the young men that say, "Hey, this is what mom was doing that made me feel this way." You know what I'm saying? I really can't really say. What about you?
Oh man, can I speak on this?
Yeah,
I feel
please.
like this touching on some of my trauma. As a young man, being the oldest of three boys, man, with my mother and seeing the difference in the treatment. Sometimes I felt like I was not being heard. I didn't have a voice. Her way or the highway. And her way wasn't always right. You know, and as you get older, and especially if the father's not in life, as you get older and you learn about manhood through trial and error, you know as a man, you have tendencies to reflect on your mistakes and where the cause of the mistakes came from. And man, that's heavy, especially for a single mother, if the father's not alive. That's the perspective I'm speaking from. you know um, love my mother to death, but sometimes I don't like her. you know,
That's
beautiful
real.
woman. You know what I'm saying? But because she still sees me as, I believe she still sees me as that little boy. The little, and I might resemble my father in a way that triggers her. You know, and sometimes we just want to be heard. That's as little boys, grown men, adolescent men. Sometimes we feel like we don't have a voice, and I think that's one of the reasons I cling to my wife, because she values my opinion. She wants me. She wants to hear what I have to say, what I think, what I feel, and I never felt that sometimes with my mother. So that's very relatable, man. That's hard too. And dealing with those emotions and not having nobody to guide you through those emotions as a man. In my instance, You second guess yourself a lot in life coming up.
Okay, that's because I'm looking at it from the standpoint of what I went through with the whole custody battle, parental
Mm,
alienation.
Mm.
You know, moms may have been one of those people that kept the pops away.
mm-hmm.
I've seen so many videos where young men say, you know what? The one guy I can specifically think of, 41 years old, just met his father. He
Mm,
says, when I see him, I'm cussing him out. You wasn't there for me. You missed important parts of my life. Where the hell was you? Whoop, whoop, whoop. He had it all planned out. He says when he walked in, his father's like, I've been expecting you. He said he got ready to cut into him. His father opened up a room where all his toys, where he used to send for Christmas, were. They were
Mm.
sent back to him.
Ooh.
All the
Ooh.
letters he wrote
Ooh.
sent back to him.
Mm.
mm.
He got to telling his son, I tried to find you. Your mom kept moving, uprooting, and just leaving. So he says, now, what would you like to talk about? He said he was speechless.
Mm.
And that's what I think a lot of young boys out here are going through, man, because what we, especially in the black community, we love to fantasize about these mythological women, so strong, powerful, frying pan wielding, super independent, strong,
Mm.
majestic, angelic, virtuous women. But when we look at it and be honest with ourselves, a lot of women are verbally abusive to children, especially to the boys. And
Yeah.
if those
Speak on.
boys remind her of the father
Ooh.
that she no longer loves or get along with, he's going to bear the brunt of all that animosity. I saw a young lady at going into Coney Island. When I say she cussed this young man out, and bruh, his shoulders slumped.
Mm.
I could see his manhood leave his body,
Mm.
right? And I'm paying attention. I'm like, Shorty, what you're really doing is, he may not ever retaliate against you, but he may take it out on other women.
Yeah.
Because my mom, hey man, rest in peace, love her, the whole nine. But hey, that mouth, that mouth,
Yes,
and
Yeah.
sir.
and she was really one of those people, man. When folks talk about her, they was like, man, she was the sweetest person on the planet, and the meanest person at the same time. And it's like, yeah, my mom could say things to me. I ain't gonna say a word back. I'll be like, all right, mama, I get you. I'll check you later. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna
Yeah, for
disrespect
sure.
you. Another woman would never be able to get away with anything my mom has
Uh,
ever said to me.
Come on. Come on.
Boy, you preaching. You preaching to the
Boy,
You know
choir
what I'm
right
saying?
now.
you better
So,
say
so,
it.
so what these women have to realize, they need to take a step back and say, and ask themselves, what have I said to these young men, or what have I did to them? Start owning your bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know,
Take some
Accountability.
Rod,
accountability.
some women not
Yeah.
gonna take no accountability,
Yeah.
no matter what it
Bruh.
is, no
Yeah.
matter
Yeah.
what's going on. They're not gonna say, "Well, baby, you know I was wrong. You know that shit ain't coming, bro. You know,
I
no
got that
matter."
from my uncle and my grandmother. The
Hmm.
accountability for my mother. My
Right?
uncle told me that my mother was wrong. My grandmother told me that my mother was wrong. And now, I forgave my mother for the years of, not meeting my father. I met my father when I was 31. No, I met my father, I was 31. And I met him with my kids. So he met his grandkids when he met me.
Damn.
You know, my uncle told me that my mother told my father when I was younger that you don't have a son. You
What?
know,
Damn.
yes,
Wow.
yeah. Told him you don't have a son. Don't come back and say he put forth the effort. My grandmother told me this as well before she passed. My aunts, they said they thought I was their little brother before I was their nephew.
Ain't that a killer?
Yeah, and so I understand that. Man, that hit home. That hits home for me. you
Mm.
know. But I had to take some time, do some therapy. I forgive my mother, but it's still a touchy situation for her. That conversation is still tough for her. She doesn't want to talk about it. Growing up in Blytheville, Arkansas, going through what she
Ah,
went through, I
okay.
know. Yeah, she went through some things. I definitely understand that, like I said. And but and that's a conversation she doesn't want to have.
Right.
She doesn't entertain that. It brings up pain and trauma for her. And I see the difference in how she did with me and my two younger brothers.
Yeah.
I have my younger brothers tell me, "Hey, Bo, that's my nickname. Bo,
Yeah.
man, you the daddy." In my family, they view my mother as the matriarch and me as the patriarch. You
Yeah.
know, and for me that blows my mind because shoot, I
Excuse
still
me.
got that little boy in me. You
Yeah.
know, that abandonment. The lack of love.
Mm. And you
Mm.
see, the narrative is always that the father is the evil dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, if a man is a deadbeat, he ain't shit in my eyes, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and the majority of men that I know will never vouch for a deadbeat.
No, not at
Mm-hmm.
all.
But on the
Yep.
Not at all.
reverse side, they'll make excuses. Well,
Yeah.
she's stressed out. She's going through this. Hey, dig this. I can tell you a bunch of instances where women choose to be single parents.
Come on.
And I've had so many women mad at me for this. It was just like, hey, am I lying? Hey, you're a single mom when soon as you take that man to court, fight for custody, and you say, I really don't want him to have none, but I'll take him. I'll let him have the weekend. You just chose your situation. You took a man to court that wanted to be a father,
Yeah.
you know, and fighting in court, bro. I fought for years in court to get what I had. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is about that is, it's like we keep telling you, a woman will tell you, well, you just need to fight harder, fight harder. It's like, fight. Why should we fight at all? Why should
Didn't
there
have
be a
to.
fight? We
Yeah.
Mm.
both were on the same page when we laid down and created this child.
Mm-hmm.
We should need be on the same page to raise the child, no matter if we're together or not. So I would love for women to really take a step back and say, man, I did that. You know, I I I showed favoritism, especially when there's different fathers involved.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, and I say us, and it's like you try to tell women these things. No, 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 no. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. You're becoming defensive. You asked me for my help. You asked me for my advice. So I'm trying to tell you what I see. You know, and I'm glad that, like I said, I tell Will and Phil every week, man. I'm glad that we can sit down and have these conversations because, you know, under normal circumstances, we only have one side of the story that's ever heard. And
Yeah.
this platform is
Yeah.
created so that the
Yeah.
narrative that's being pushed on us, we can refute it.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about our side of it, and then we can come up with a solution because it's her story, his story, and then there's the
Yes. And the
truth.
truth.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes,
that's
sir.
Yeah.
that's that's what I'm here for, man. And I wish more women would understand. Hey, let that young boy, that young girl, let them kids go see their father. If he wants to
Yeah.
be
Please,
there,
man.
get out the way. And you gonna be a super mom for doing that.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you this, man. I don't think too many of y'all know this, but my dad had three other children outside my six siblings that I have. I'm the oldest of nine, truly, and the three that's outside, the women that was cool, they was cool with my mom. So they really never had the animosity towards my dad that I know of. But see, with me being the older brother, I always made sure that they knew who I was, who my mom was, and who my dad was. And to this day, I still have that rapport with all my siblings. I just went to
Right.
Chicago over the
Yeah.
weekend. My brother like, yo, you ain't even come see me, bro. You come to Chicago, you can't even fuck with a bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, man, it wasn't like that. I was just coming to step in, and I had to turn around. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, they all tell me stories about how I came through and pulled everybody together. Like, yo, man, you used to come get us, you used to come fuck with us. You introduced me to
Yeah.
cousins and stuff that I didn't even know. Had it not been for you, we wouldn't cool. My dad was very pivotal in that because he made sure that I knew my other siblings. You the big brother. Let me introduce you to your brother. This is such and such. This is such and such. These are their moms. So if anything should go down the road, at least they know you. If they ever forget about me, they know you, they big brother. There's only
Oh
one
man,
brother that I
that's
have
what's up.
not been in touch with in the last 40 years, and before we moved to Detroit, my dad took all his children to every location before we left. The three other women that he had children with, and said, "Hey, these are his siblings. This is who I am. I'm moving to Detroit. Here's a number. Here's an address. If they ever have any questions, this is what they can do to find me." I thought that was a man commendable. I had never seen nothing like that from a man. You know what I'm saying? So for the other ones to still keep in touch, and then the one that didn't, it wasn't on him. It was his stepfather that kept him away because he gave my father havoc when we came through. What you doing over here? Why you over here? He said, man, I just want my children to know who their brother are. I don't want them to go in this world not knowing, run into him or something, and then they wind up linking up, and damn, that's his
Yeah,
brother. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? The
yeah,
guy was he was on the
yeah.
fleetly big, man. Oh, why you coming around now? You ain't been around all this time. And the shorty was like, what, 7 to 8 when we moved to Detroit. Mom was cool, like, hey, baby, it ain't even cut like that. He just want, nah, he ain't even supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? So, but other than that, that's the only brother I have not kept in touch with. But everybody else, I keep in touch with, and I've always had. And I thank my dad for doing that. And I thank the women in their life that they were able to be communable because my mom accepted my other brothers no flaws. You know what I'm saying? The other mothers accepted me, no flaws. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
oh,
dope. That's
we ain't
dope.
got nothing to
Yeah,
do with what going on in the
yeah,
grown
yeah.
folk.
That's
Like,
what's up.
you're a child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So you my son
yeah,
just as well as that's my son, and I love that, man. And that's
yeah,
why I'm the way that I am now. And I
yeah,
wish other women in the world would be like that. Let's be adult about it. You
yeah,
know, yeah, y'all made a mistake. Y'all had children, whatever you want to call it. But let's be cordial to one another and raise the child. The child has no bearing on this. All they doing is living.
yeah,
Let them experience their dad or whatever the case may be, and be cordial. You'll be mad, but let that man come apart and be a part of their life. That's
yeah.
all I ask for, man.
Yeah,
And a
your
lot of
mom
women
didn't
can't
have
say,
yeah, your mom didn't have that bitter woman syndrome.
no,
You know what
no,
I'm
not at
saying?
all, man, not
That
at all.
that bitter
And
woman syndrome.
it's so funny because when she told me, she said, "Shit, uh, one of them was my good friend, and she used to babysit you."
oh
I said,
wow.
"Oh, ain't this a killer?" And then the other one was
Yeah,
another friend of mine. Your dad was just sort of doing his thing. I was like, "Oh,
yeah.
damn," but yeah, I was like, "Damn."
You
but
got that on.
yeah, but I understand where you coming from and what you're saying, Rod.
Yeah,
But I never experienced the bitter woman syndrome for the most part because the women in my life were very communal. They talked to one another, they loved one another, and they helped one another. I got a line, Gigi would get in my ass. I got a line,
mm,
Geraldine would come here, boy. She got in my ass. So it wasn't, she never said anything bad about my dad. None of them said anything bad about my dad when I used to fall through and pick up my brothers. Yo, I'm coming to spend some time with my brother. They never said, well, yo, daddy, why he ain't come and get him? They never said that. Oh, thank you for coming by, James. You know what I'm saying? That's my name. Why, thank you for coming by and spending time with him, man. I'm glad he getting to
that's,
know you. I'm glad to get to know your family like that. I thought that was cool as hell.
yeah, that's
But
man shit.
other women are
Yeah,
not like that, man.
yeah.
That's just my experience,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. See, that's one of the things that I was adamant about. My kids gonna have some good or bad. They gonna have some idea about who their father was.
Yes, sir.
You know. Like I said, I wasn't a perfect. I was learning as I went along. So,
Come on.
but I've always tried to nurture that relationship with my kid's mother, and now my kids have got older, and they understand the difference. Like my daughter. My daughter tells me all the time, like, "Dang, Dad, you're not what Mom said you were." You know, and that's another thing. Just like with my father, I got three more brothers on my father's side.
Come
I'm
on.
the oldest out of all of us.
You sound like me, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they rock with me, if I call upon them. But I'm not going because I know the relationship is different from with them than with my brothers I grew up in a house with. I'd say
Hmm.
that I'm truly big bruh, you know,
Yeah.
and I go back to watching them grow up with their father as they came in and out, come to visit and always. And I used to think I asked my mother once before, like, Mom, well, so who's my dad? She was like, I'm your daddy. You don't got no daddy. She don't think I remember these things. So
Yeah.
when I bring them up, it's a trigger for her. And she's, I've been labeled as being rebellious. I had my tantrum. I ain't gonna say tantrums, but it was just the confusion of not knowing myself or knowing who I was on that side. The rest of me. I know my mother's side, so I know that portion of me, but not knowing that father's side. And then a crazy part is, I lived 5 blocks away from my cousins. Went to school with them, played basketball with them. But when I met my father, me and my cousin, the Bishop Victor Eugene Shop, St. John the Great, me and him played basketball, hung out in the streets, did our thing together, made some money together. Me and this guy at work, and I told him, I said, man, I met my father for the first time. He was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, Victor Eugene. I said, Roger Eugene Strader. And he was like, Strader? He was like, Johnny, that's my mama's first cousin. Man, we cousins.
Damn.
Went over to the house, pulled out a crate full of pictures, went down my family tree on that side.
Damn.
And I couldn't, and this is stuff that I couldn't bring to my mom because it'll hurt her trauma.
It'll
Come to
trigger.
find out, my cousin was my Sunday school teacher when I was in elementary and middle school.
Wow.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So I understand that part when women don't know or don't have the emotional intelligence to understand what they're doing to these boys, and not having that connection. I was hostile for a long time coming up. And once I had to get those. That's why I'm grateful for the military. Everybody can say what they want to say about it, but that thing there helped me heal and be able to deal with a lot of things I know what I was dealing with. And like I said, my mother still to this day is triggered by anything that I have to do that has to do with that side of my family. And her and my Sunday school teacher were real cool. That's her girl to this day.
Mm.
You know, that's her girl to this day. And I'm her favorite cousin now. My Sunday school teacher, And then my mother, she knows it, but I don't bring it up because I know it triggers her. And so I try to, understanding the woman that she was then because she was young when she had me. And she had her ordeals. She dealing with rejection from this guy because he didn't want to. He seen something in her that made him not want to deal with her outside of me, but he wanted to deal with me.
Right.
So it's a lot of things with women that it's a maturity and it's an emotional thing with them to where they're vindictive at times. And I understood my mother's mindset. I tried to understand that mindset at that time and understand why it shaped me the way I am now. That's why I'm so adamant about my kids. Like what you will, you and your kids, they're gonna know, good or bad, who I am as a father.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I never had.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Oh
hey,
wow.
yeah, man,
Now,
hey, it's rough. It was rough.
now see,
It
that's
was rough.
that's one of the things I think you said something about emotional intelligence, and a lot of times I ask myself, do women lack emotional intelligence or do they just
Mm.
don't care?
Mm.
Because a lot of
Yeah.
times when it comes to the kids, it's about control. You know, women use children as a weapon against men. A lot of times, I tell a lot of people, hey, children can be a blessing or a curse, depending on what kind of woman you dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I admit, you know, fatherhood for me sucked. You know what I'm saying? It was like battle. It sucked, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Uh, Today, I have a good rapport with all my children except for one, and it's like I'm just gonna be who I am. I ain't gonna kiss y'all ass if you turn
Yeah.
your back. So
Yeah.
hey, I
Yeah.
don't want to talk to you. Like, all
Yeah,
right, it
yeah.
is what it is. You ain't gonna be the first one. You ain't gonna be the last one not want to talk to me. But if you ever want to sit down and be mature and talk to me, the door is always open. You know, and that's what I make sure I tell each and every one of them. If you ever need my help, holla at me. You know, but just don't holla at me when you need something. And so, a lot of times, what they don't understand, and the funny thing is, my children understand now what it was I was going through.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I see their childhood, like I say, fatherhood sucked during their childhood. I'm getting able to watch, I'm able to watch them older now. The relationship, I love it now. I don't have to hold my tongue. I can say whatever I want to say, and they understand now. And the thing for me is I never spoke out of, with any animosity in my voice towards their mom. It's always been like, all right, mom said this. All right. And I made it a deliberate thing to not do any of that. You know what I'm saying? So my father always told me, because me and my father went 20 years without talking. As soon as I graduated from high school, I was a knucklehead. I found out what the street life was about. And so I was like, my pops and my moms wasn't getting along. I took a side. I took mom's side, right? Me and my brother took mom's side. Next thing you know, hey, they get divorced. Boom, boom, boom. I'm 19. Boom, he takes off. 20 years, my aunt passed away. He came to a funeral here. And I prayed on this. I said, man, you know what? If I could have ever had an opportunity to apologize to that man, I would apologize to him. Because marriage, when I got married, that shit made me realize what he was going through. It made me understand everything he tried to tell me. So the first thing I said was, hey man, you know what? I apologize for being a little boy when you was giving me man advice.
Wow.
And everything he told me came to fruition. And man, me and him, man, when I call that joke up now, man, it's just like, man, what up, Joe, man?
Yeah,
It feels so
yeah.
good. It feels like I'm a kid again. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, he 88, just turned 88. Hey, man, what you doing? I'm cutting grass. Double knee replacement surgery, still, and cutting the neighbor's grass.
Come on,
And
man.
it's like, women should understand how much their children want to be around their father.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
know what it's like for certain kids to go to school and to see their homeboy with their father. Let me tell you a quick story, and I'm gonna make it real quick. I'm gonna let you get to your story. Hey man,
Yeah.
me and my dogs used to hang out, right? So then one of the homies would be like, hey man, I'm gonna go hang with my father real quick, man. I'm gonna knock a brew down with him, and now I'm gonna catch up with y'all. And it wasn't jealousy where I was mad at him. It was like, damn, I wish I could do that, man. Grab a brew with my old dude, talk shit
Yeah.
about females real quick,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and and it was like, man, when I got that opportunity to go kick it with him, me and my brothers went down to South Carolina to kick it with him. Man, it felt so good, man. And to have him back in my life, I'm like, damn, what if I would have had him 20 years ago? I would not
Yeah.
have made these mistakes. Cause I know him. Man, sarcastic as hell, straight to the point, military dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he don't bite his tongue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So women got to understand, man, those kids want that other side of the family. It's not about you. It's about them children wanting to know the other half of them. And
Yeah.
how can you love a child and say, I'll go hard for my kids and I'll do whatever it takes to make them happy, but you cutting off half of them?
Come on. Whoo. That's deep, bro.
That's
You
real talk,
taking the
though.
whole
That's
part
real talk.
away.
That's real
Yeah.
talk. Hey,
That's
man, what y'all
real.
do? Y'all did this show for me? Y'all did
No,
this
man,
show for
that's just
me?
how the universe aligns. Because when we have our
This topic is
conversations like
just
this,
specifically for me.
yeah, it happens like that. Because when we first started doing our podcast, this bro asked me about what was it like life after divorce or something like that. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm going through this right now. It's like, what is this for me right now? And we was cracking up, but it was so profound because it's just what we do, man. It's just
Yeah.
how the
And this
universe aligned these stories for us to have real men speak on it, so other people like us can hear it and learn from it.
man,
Because
these conversations definitely need to be had.
something
Yeah.
we say may jog them, and something may we say may make them go, "Wow, I never thought of it that way." And that's where this comes into play. And I thank Sherrod for putting this together, man, because we
Yeah.
met
Yeah. Thank you,
years
brother
ago,
Rod.
Oh
and
no,
we
man!
and
Thank you
we
for
we started putting the
participating
things
and
together,
being
man. And
Yeah.
transparent.
Yeah. Yeah.
and we'd love to have you come on again, man, because I know you got more to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Hey, I've learned that, sometimes some things are better proved through actions than, words. That's what I've learned,
Yes,
just
sir.
because of the lack of, that relationship with my father. Joe gonna tell me something, because I try to be a man of my word. I had to watch my neighbors. To all the fathers that was in the neighborhood, my partners I grew with that had fathers, I see them to this day, and they all like, hey, Bo, that's my nickname. Hey, Bo, good to see you. Love me. Great young man. That's what they would say. I ain't gonna say it for myself, but great young man because it was something that always made me gravitate to those guys. You know what I'm saying? Family men. Seeing my partners with their fathers, and that was a longing. Like, dang, I wasn't jealous, but I was admiring them, for
Yeah, it's
something
an
they had that
admiration.
I didn't. Yeah, the admiration, man. And then, seeing my younger brothers when their father came, pick them up. Look, the first concert I ever went to was with my brother's father. Michael Jackson, 1981, off the wall. To this day, in my head.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Hey, listen, no, those moments, you remember those, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Etched in your mind.
yeah, yeah, that father figure, that male energy, that guiding force, like I say, it's definitely needed when it comes to boys. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because a woman can raise you to be a great human being, but there's certain things that a man has to teach
Bruh.
a
Come
young
on.
man that needs to be a man. You
Speak
know,
on it.
and a woman can't give you that. Can't teach that. And like I tell my daughter, I tell her, hey, I mean, I wish I could have been a better example of what type of man to choose, but her mother was a little better because I understood the rejection that she took, from me not wanting to be with her, you know. And but my daughter is one of my, you know, double-edged, so I love her to death. But at the same time, as a father, I'm disappointed because she didn't reach the potential that she has, and I don't beat myself up because of the absence there because of her mother. Tried to get custody of her twice, seen what she was lacking, you know, but the relationship now is so beautiful because she, like you said, speaking about your kids, when they get older and they get to understanding, they done live some adulthood, and they like, dang, my daughter really gravitates to me now, whereas before she kind of shunned me. And I've always been there, always taking care of her, and never question her, anything like that. But I say all that to say that fathers are so important in the lives of black kids, of our kids. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a stereotype that we don't do that. And we all do that. We all try. I know many brothers that want relationships with their kids or have fractured relationships with their kids because of the bitter or the bad relationship they had with the mother. And I think that some women don't take that accountability to just step back and co-parent. You know, my baby brother, I got a niece. She called me Uncle Daddy, you know, because I'm there. But, I facilitated a therapy session with them. And she like, Uncle Bo, I want you there. Okay, baby, I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
So everything that I didn't get, I try to give that now
Hmm.
that I have this better
Yeah.
understanding. But it's so important. Women need to get over them emotions or, get over I say the rejection because that's the word I think that they feel because you're not with the father, you
And I
know.
think I'm going through that right now, Bo. since I'm recently divorced, even though my children are grown,
Mm-hmm.
my ex was telling me, I hope you still have the same relationship with your children because they see how you really are now. But I raised them. They 31 and 29, man. I've been a part of their life. So why would you say that? The relationship that I have with them should be substantial, and now they can see something different. And
Hey,
what's going on? What you
bruh.
about to say, Rod?
You see, the one thing that I think we fail to realize is that women can tap into the little kid inside of a child, no matter how
Mm,
old it is, he or
yeah,
she is. And
gotcha.
trust me, it don't take much. You gotta see emotions are like storm, right? A storm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and you know the Marvel character Storm, she controls
Yeah,
the storm. She
yeah,
can
Yeah,
make it
yeah,
happen
yeah,
whenever
yeah,
she wants it.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's I see most women as Storm. Emotions, they're the master manipulators of emotions.
come on.
You know what I'm saying? Men and women are both born with different type of ability. Men are more physical and logical. Women
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to survive in a world where men rule, right? So guess what they do? Hey, they're emotional and they're manipulative. Don't get me wrong. Manipulation is not bad. It depends on the intent.
Come on. Speak on
You know,
it.
because we
Mm.
all we all
Yeah,
manipulate,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But both said, hey, the key word, rejection is something. See, they always say men can't handle rejection. No, women can't handle
Woo!
rejection. Men
Woo!
face rejection every
Woo!
All the
single
time.
day.
Come
All the
on,
Trust
time.
man.
me. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Do you know how hard a man has to work to have a mate? But a woman just has to have some titties and an ass and a willingness to give it up.
Come on, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
This real
this
talk
is
right
not a
here,
thing
bro.
to bash women. I just want people to open their eyes to see that hey, you all have this narrative that men, especially black men, are bad. You know, I'm gonna shoot y'all after the video. I'm gonna shoot y'all a link to the myth of the absentee black father, where they debunk the myth
Yeah,
that black
yeah,
fathers aren't
Yeah,
there.
definitely
I'll
need
shoot
that.
that to y'all.
That
And
might be another topic too, Rod.
yeah. I
oh
seen
yeah,
some
we
statistics
gonna we
on
gonna
that.
kick it,
I seen some statistics on that. How we are
bruh.
the most
There you
active
go.
in all demographics
Come on.
in the child's life. Oh
Come on.
yeah, I see. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I definitely. I'm all for that. you
And
know.
see,
Yeah.
and the crazy thing is, women base how good a father you are based on how they want you to be a father.
Come on. See?
You don't tell me how
See?
to be a
Yeah,
father. I'm going to
yeah,
dictate
yeah.
how I am a father to my children. And like I said, I am so happy they're grown now because the one thing my children say to me today is that I never deviated from who I was. I was, growing up, they said, Dad, you was mean, you was an asshole, this and that and the other, woo, woo, woo. And I said, I'm still that way, and you love me. Because y'all
Yep.
always come to me. Whenever you need something solved, guess who number y'all dial? Mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's stability. That's
Absolutely.
steadfastness. Yeah, yeah. It's not wishy washy. That
Right.
masculine energy. You
And
know.
and the crazy thing is, what we offer that most women don't offer is when we say no, is no.
hmm
Yeah.
And it's like, Mom, can you? And a mom will waver.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
know you. I said you was on punishment for 2 weeks, but it's only been 2 days and you look miserable. Man, my dad put me on punishment for a whole summer. And man, it was like, get away from the door. I don't even want you looking out the door.
Bruh. My old man was the same. My mom was my go-to. She'd be like, baby, go ahead and go in the backyard. My dad be like, what you doing in that damn backyard? I'm like, God damn it, he called me. Get your ass back in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Ryan. I know exactly what you're talking
So
about.
I mean,
Hey,
I hope that's not the case for you. And like you said, your children are older; they can decide for themselves. But man, when they're babies, hey man, I remember driving. I'm driving. My daughter says, "Daddy, do you worship the devil?"
where that come from, baby?
Yeah.
Oh, I know where it came from.
them rejected emotions. That's what. Your
Like I said,
daddy
when they say
mean.
hell knows no fury like a woman scorned.
Yeah,
Boy,
yeah, yeah,
boy,
yeah,
that's all
yeah.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't got nothing to say on that topic.
You smart.
No,
You
It's
but
too
smart.
Will,
fresh.
keep doing just keep being who you was all the time.
Hey man, I
Yeah,
can't do
yeah.
nothing else but that, bro. And that's what I had to learn. Going through everything that I went through, I put on the front for so long that once I decided to become the 100% authentically me, there's no changing that, man. There's no changing. So that's why I'm where I'm at right now at this point in my life. Moving forward in a positive way and being 100% happy with me.
Man, that's boy, that's beautiful right there. A
Yeah.
lot of times we the sacrificial lambs, we'll suffer, go without, struggle, whatever. And to make sure everybody else is taken care of. But that's not looked at, that's not celebrated. But
No,
then when
not
we
at all.
decide, yeah, and then when we decide to be like, you know what, put yourself first, it's a problem, you know.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah,
whole nother podcast right
yeah,
there, Joe.
Bruh.
yeah,
When
yeah,
when men decide
Woo!
to put themselves first, bro,
yeah,
Woo!
because we suffer in silence in a lot of
yep,
these
Yeah,
relationships.
yeah,
yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard so
yeah.
often how unhappy women are in marriages. I'm like, do you know how unhappy men are?
men are, dude.
You
Yeah,
I
it's
just
like
if they
see,
knew.
man, it's like if y'all heard the inside conversations of a group of men that's
men.
really being transparent, you would
Woo!
understand you guys are not so great. Y'all don't have sex enough. You
No
talk too
problem.
much. You complain too much. It's like yo, it's like you want me to do A B C D E F G just to get this once
Yeah,
or twice every now and again when you feel like it. If you're not hurting, crying, emotional, the soap operas didn't trigger something inside you. Your
Yeah,
girlfriend is not getting along with her man. I got all these factors working against me for the thing I want from you. Or guess what? I said, and then I had to tell I told somebody, I was like, y'all keep thinking sex is the biggest thing that men want. No, give us a conversation where you pay attention to me.
mm,
Actually
mm.
listen to me.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Get to know
yeah.
me for the actual person. See, you always think I grab your ass. Oh, you want to have sex? No, I just want to grab your ass because it's fat.
That's that's my love language. I like to
Yeah,
touch your
yeah,
face. I
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna
to
yeah,
smack
stab
it when you
you.
walk by. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
yeah, yeah,
That don't
yeah,
mean I want
yeah.
to get naked. You know what I'm saying? But I want women to understand that we're not just these one-dimensional beings. We got feelings. We show our emotions. We just control them.
Mm-hmm.
That
You know?
part. That part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
vulnerability is tough, man, because we've been taught and conditioned not to have that vulnerability and be so emotional that when we do, it's looked upon as, oh, this nigga soft.
Yes.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But all we're
He
doing is just
weak.
letting you
He's
know
soft.
I'm
Yeah,
in
yeah,
love with
yeah.
you and I feel a certain way and I'm opening up to you. And then you take that shit and use it against us when we open up. That ain't fair, man. That ain't love. That's
Hey, but
bullshit,
that's
man.
but that's what they do. That's
Yeah,
what they
man.
do. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's not all of them.
No,
I'll
not all
never
of them.
say it's. I ain't gonna say it's.
It's
I'll
the
never
board.
say
No,
it's
no,
all of
no.
anybody
Yeah.
that does everything, right? But the vast majority of women that I know and come across. Have you ever spoke to a woman and counted how many times she cut you off, changed the subject, or just didn't know what y'all was talking about?
Yeah.
You see me wiggling, right?
Yeah.
You see me wiggling, right?
Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
It's like
Uh,
I don't want to hear what you got to say. It's like, you know, I tell people, look, I like to talk about everything. I don't like to pigeonhole myself into talking about just politics, just talking about sex, just talk. Let's talk about everything.
yeah.
Even if I don't like it, I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk to you.
Yeah.
I'll get a better understanding.
no doubt. That's how you
Yeah.
learn.
That's how
Yeah.
you learn.
It it's a level of with women, a lot of times it's they got a comfort level of being want to be heard. You know, they want to be heard, and once we hear them, they think that's supposed to be it. But okay, well, I'm gonna hear you, but okay, let me give you this rebuttal.
Oh,
they're
they don't
they're
want
not
that.
open to any rebuttal or
Oh
anything. It's
no.
not it's not a it's not a negative rebuttal towards
No.
you. Oh, but shoot, I have my own thoughts about this situation too, you know. But they have been conditioned to have a certain mind. I think they say that the feminist movement helped, generate a lot of these ideologies with women nowadays. But I don't want to bash all women because I feel as though the difference when I dealt with women who had a father in their life and then women who grew up in a single or broken home, it is a definite difference in how she receives and how she interacts with the energy of a man. You know what I'm saying? Because if she watched her mother and father get along and it's a healthy relationship, she deals with you. She's nurturing with you. A lot of women lack that nurturing to deal with a husband or a man because at times we need nurturing too. You know, we needs to be nurtured by our mate, and sometimes they don't have the capabilities to do that for us because they haven't seen it, they haven't witnessed it, they don't know how to dial it back. You don't know how to go into a soft girl era. It's combative. No, don't be combative with me. I'm just expressing what I feel. This is my thoughts. Ain't nothing wrong. I have a right to feel this way and I have a right to think this way because this is what shaped me. My life has shaped me to see. Now help me understand you, and I'm gonna help you understand me. Sometimes women they don't want to go into the depths of those type of conversations because they feel as though they seen their mama do it, their aunties do it, and it's not. They haven't seen their aunties do it with a good man, or their mom do it with a good man. Their grandparents do it with a good man, and so it's a certain way that they view relationships and view themselves in the world. So when we come across dealing with a woman that doesn't have the like you say, the emotional intelligence, or doesn't have that nurturing spirit to where she can't handle, me and my weakest point, or me when I'm not at my highest and can't build me up or can't bring me back, that's when they get to straying, wandering, or, it's a lack of certain respect. I say they'll lose respect certain ways instead of looking at it as this man is loves me enough to reveal all of himself to me. Sometimes women don't know how to reciprocate that or know how to receive that. And I think that me being a reluctant player in my younger days, you know,
Reluctant.
Like
yeah, yeah. Being a reluctant player in my younger days allowed me to, see all these different versions of a woman. And just it's sometimes, being out there, you deal with a chick and you know when you good, you know when they way more into you than you are into them, and you
Yep.
know how to manipulate it and
oh
make
yeah.
it. But as I got older, like you say, man, we move different, and when you recognize a woman that has those nurturing capabilities and will value your opinion and appreciate your love, you move different. You know, sometimes women would take their pain, their hurt, their animosity out on them young boys and damage them young boys. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And not allow them the space to develop emotionally. That's why you got all these YNs out here. They angry, upset. Don't
Yep.
want to listen to nobody. Can't nobody tell you that, tell you nothing. Because they dealing with their mother's emotions because it's been projected upon them, man. So that's why them women be getting these. My son don't like me. Yeah, you got to realize that you done something and don't want to take accountability. Revisit the relationship with him and try to understand his anger,
Hmm.
understand his frustration. You
Yeah.
know, but
And the,
like I
the,
say, when
the
it
crazy thing is, you know, I was hearing how women emasculate men. I said, nah, a woman, a woman emasculate boys, right? Destroy him as a boy. When he becomes a man, he's already emasculated. Women just take advantage of his emasculation that happened at childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Because a man that's a man that grew up around men, like
hmm
I've had women come at me like with this. I'm like, shorty, I'm the wrong one. I done played the game.
Come on.
I've been the cheater, the cheated on. I've been the called and the
Yeah,
taught. I done been
yeah,
everywhere. I done been all up and down, up and through here. I had my heart broke at 19. It ain't never happened again. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I'm glad it
yeah.
happened early because it showed me, you know, because I was under the impression that, hey, when you got a girlfriend and y'all together, she won't stray. Shit.
And I think that's the hardest lesson for all of us to learn.
Yeah,
And,
man.
and and the crazy part about it was growing up and seeing it. So being on the other side, right, helping women cheat, achieve their
Oh
their
yeah,
their
yeah,
superior cheating abilities, right? So you say, oh man, hold on, a lot of women ain't shit because you said
yeah,
dude is a good dude, but you still over here laid up with me. And I'm
yeah.
like, oh man, hold on. And they started making me think, man. I was living with my brother on the army base down in Fort Belvoir. And it's like, bro, they really shooting ass like that? He like, bro, as soon as they go to the field, you're gonna
Yeah.
start seeing a whole bunch of different new faces at the NCO club. And
Come
bro,
on.
I'm down there, I'm a young dude, and I'm like, damn. Bro, I'm like 19, 20.
Going crazy, going.
Nuts. Nuts. I'm down there. And then, we going back from Fort Belvoir to Fort Bragg, right? Nuts. When you a civilian on the base,
Come
Oh
on.
yeah, yeah. You that guy,
You
boy.
prime rib, boy. You
Yeah,
prime
yeah,
choice, shorty.
bruh,
You're
yeah,
not a military cat. You prime
yeah,
choice, man.
yeah. You a
bruh,
cupcake with
it
legs,
taught
baby. They
me.
want to eat.
It taught me how women were. It
Yeah,
got rid of the illusion that women were these angelic souls that's so nurturing, kind, and loving.
yeah,
No, they manipulate being kind, loving, and nurturing as a way to get what they want. I was like, okay, cool, cool. Like I said, the young lady that she got me, man. It was like, oh man, I thought, but then I remember the homie, his name was Sergeant Pete. We sitting around drinking some damn Baileys. he say, man, let me tell you something, man. He said, you down here doing your thing too, right? I said, yeah. He's like, bruh, she at home. She doing her thing. You don't own that. He was like, And then it's like, he said, I'm about to tell you about the shoe being on the other foot. I'm like, damn. He was like, so you can do one or two things. You can cry about it or go get you some more hoes. I was like, man, let me go get some more hoes, man.
yeah.
But all it gets on the serious side of it, women emasculate boys. A woman can't emasculate a man that's firm and standing 10 toes in his. They destroy these boys. They destroy these boys, man, and it's like I heard one young lady says, I'm going to turn my son gay to get at the father.
What the fuck?
That is devious and demonic.
Man, that's asinine as fuck, Joe.
Oh my God,
And
that's
the funny
terrible.
Asinine.
thing is, it's like you heard there was women in the comment section agreeing with her. Yes, if we can just Will, did I send you the video where the young lady was talking to the white guys, asking them to exterminate all black men?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I wanted to talk about that with you too when we got a chance.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
go. That's got to be another situation,
yeah, that's
because that's
another
gonna
one,
take
man.
some
Yeah,
time. But
I was like,
it's
whoa,
like,
what the hell?
and then
Johnny,
when
we
you
gonna
try to
send you that
tell
link,
people,
bro. It's crazy, bro.
it's nuts. It, bruh, this is a black
The
woman.
sister who was talking about it was all in on like what this is what we doing, ladies. I mean, she was clapping back, but it was like this is crazy that this is what y'all are talking about and listening to a white man at that talking to a white person about black men, and
That
it's like
is.
what?
Oh my
It was
God.
wild, man. It was so wild. It was so
And then
wild.
now, you say, why does my son hate me? Are you sitting around talking bad about black men all day? Because guess what? Your son realizes I'm going to be a black man one day too. Well,
Come
Yeah.
then will
on,
you feel
Yeah.
that way about me? Do your
Right,
friends feel
exactly.
that? Because I'm listening to Auntie, your girls, and all that. Y'all all bash men all day long. Will y'all black women think that same thing about me?
Oh, me, exactly. So now he has
That's
a pushback.
heartbreaking. That's
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Yeah,
That
now
is
he has a
heartbreaking
pushback.
to hear
So
that.
niggas ain't shit. And then she
Yeah,
called him a
yeah,
little nigga when she get mad at
yeah,
him. So then that
yeah,
automatically said, damn, I ain't shit.
yeah,
It's programming, man.
It's
yeah,
It's straight
programming.
yeah.
programming. It's
Program.
programming.
You right,
And
man.
you
That is
wonder why
sad.
they out here mad at the world and don't have any morals about anything. These little YNs are on a whole different. At least when we was coming up, we had
We have
more. We
rules.
didn't do nothing to no
Yeah,
women.
we
We
had
didn't do nothing to no
rules. Yeah,
children. We
we had a
had rules
certain
to the
code.
game.
Yeah, we had a code.
These young cats now, man, step to them sideways, they pulling up on you real quick, like bam,
Yeah.
like whoa, partner. Can we talk about this for a minute, man? Slow your roll. So it's cool when you got OGs like us that can actually holler at some cats and change their mind about some things. I've been
Yeah,
in those
yeah,
situations where they are rah rah, and then I had to break it down to them. They go, damn, I never looked at it like that, OG.
yeah.
Like,
And
damn,
that's where
I'm
the
an
man
OG
comes
now. You
in
know
at.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, but they
Yeah, and
need
that's
that,
where the
man.
men come in at in their life. That's what a
Yeah,
man does, correct those those little boy behaviors
yeah.
that they see flaring up. So in the absence of those men, they gonna turn to the visualization or the example of the women that they have in their life. And
Yes.
that man, it makes them
Okay.
soft, it makes them unstable,
You said
um,
it, bro. You said it.
and that's not man behavior. You
Nah.
know,
Okay,
I'm
dig
big on
this.
that.
All right. Emotions. Because we always talk about how violent the YNs are, right? How violent they
Hmm.
are. And then what I told a young lady is all the young men that you all complain about are raised by single mothers predominantly. If you look
Yes,
in the prison
yes,
system, most
yes,
men and women that's in prison, lack of father. Uh,
yeah,
High pregnancy rate, lack of fathers. Drug
yes,
abuse, lack of fathers. Dropping
yeah,
out, lack of father.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So now, like you said, Bo, men help these young boys manipulate and control their emotions. So violence to me is uncontrolled emotions.
Yeah.
Violence and emotions not being able to control them is a female thing. So I told a young lady, I said, yeah, violence is a female trait. I said, men are just more destructive at it.
yeah.
She
Oh man,
says,
that's good.
no, 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 no. I said, no. If you listen without being upset about it, what I'm trying to tell you is most women are you all are very emotional. Everything send you guys over the edges. Y'all might just cry about it. But I remember what I did when I got angry when I was a young dude. Oh, somebody about to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
down on
yeah,
this one.
yeah,
We
Yeah.
about to
Yeah.
yeah,
about to knuckle these
yeah,
boys
yeah,
up, and we going outside to handle that. But now you got dudes shooting up cribs, shooting each other,
yeah,
and it's like those are uncontrolled emotions. If these
Yeah.
dudes had a man in their life that was like, hold on, bro. Okay, remember the movie Friday
Hmm.
when Cube's father was talking to him like he about to up the pistol on
Yeah.
Debo.
yeah,
He was like,
yeah,
man,
Good down,
you
man.
fight him like a man. If you lose, you
Put the
lose. At
hand.
least you
yeah,
There
can
you
live
go.
for the next
Yeah.
day. See the next day.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that's what I would like to tell these young men. I said, bro, it ain't if you lose the fight. It's where you're afraid to defend yourself. Or, like my dad say, the biggest thing you can do as a man is walk away.
There you go.
Defend yourself if necessary.
That
yeah,
fucks them
yeah,
up even more. A lot of times, I done turned my back on a bunch of niggas.
yeah.
They wah, 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 wah. I just walk away. Did that nigga just turn his back on me? And I'll be praying to God, please don't let the nigga run up on me and punch me in the back of my head. I be
Well,
praying on that like, because I don't want to have to, but I just walk away, and that fucks
yeah,
them up
man.
mentally. Like, damn, this dude just walked away from me. I'm not even man enough to even. He not. It just fucks them up. They don't even know what to say. It's like he just literally just turned and walked away.
Yeah.
I would rather
Yeah,
just do that, man, because I got this beast in me that once he's unleashed, I'm
yeah,
afraid that I'm gonna go to jail and get killed. So I'd rather just harbor that beast and just walk away and stay kind and humble, because once that beast elevates, it's hard to turn that motherfucker
yeah,
off. because I've been
Yeah,
harboring it for so long.
yeah, I've
You
been
understand what I'm
called that
saying?
guy. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Fly off the handle. I'm an old school crash out. My brother told me, he said, man, it's amazing to see you, Bo. It's amazing to see you at this stage in your life to be, you to be this calm, a person who's this calm has to have experienced a whole lot of violence. I'm telling you, I know I had some uncontrolled emotions when I was younger, and then I'm glad the military. I had an opportunity to channel that. Controlled aggression when I started boxing. All of that. So now, if I'm in a situation, I'm gonna always defend myself. I would de-escalate first, but I know what I'm capable of, so that
Right.
allows me to like, all right, man, go ahead. I tell the other jokers all the time, hey, I'm the fighter, my wife the shooter.
Come
you
on.
know, you know. Hey, but being able to recognize the heightened emotion, the unnecessary, hostility that might come my way, and being able to be like judge the situation and see where it could lead to, and being emotional intelligent enough to de-escalate and be like, all right, man, you can, I give a guy a win. Hey, all right, bro. Not knowing that
Right.
it's a win for him. You're not realizing what you could have got yourself
Right.
into, you know,
Real
because
talk.
that's maturity, that's wisdom, and that comes with time, So
Yeah.
Man,
and I
time.
know, it's a lot of young cats out here that just they need a ear so they can be able to express themselves, frustrations out or whatever, and they need a shoulder because there's some of them that just want to cry, just need a hug. You know what I'm
It
saying?
just tell them, let
And
it go. It's okay.
yeah,
And some
yeah,
of them just need
yeah.
a word because sometimes they don't
Oh,
have
yeah,
any kind
yeah,
words to
yeah,
encourage
yeah,
them to do
yeah,
better. They hear so much
yeah,
negative shit, so they like you said that kindness, what you just said, and then sometimes they just need that word. Hey man, everything's gonna be all right.
yeah,
Take a
yeah,
Eh,
take a look at it this way. Did you
yeah.
ever look at it this way and point some things out to him? Maybe your my mother or your friend was going through this. Those words of kindness and encouragement makes a difference, and it make them stop for a minute and go, "Damn, I never looked at it that way." Sometimes that's all they need, man.
Man,
That's
that
all
is
they need.
big. That is. My
You know?
and when
nephew,
they see
my
see that you came from where they came from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like
oh
you
yeah,
you let them know, like, bruh, I've been where you trying to go, bruh, and it's a dead end, bruh. I
yeah,
like you said, man. When it came to flying off the handle and crashing out, oh man, I'm like, where, when, who, and
yeah,
and my older brother and my younger brother the same way. It's like, man, okay, we cool until we ain't cool, you
There
know.
yeah,
you go.
And
yeah,
There you
and then my,
go.
my pops told me, he was like, when we first started talking again, he's like, man, I was expecting to hear that you was buried somewhere. He's like,
Damn.
cause he's like, bro, at the rate you was going, he said, I never saw jail for you. I saw you dead.
Mm.
And he said, and at that time, I wouldn't have cared because you are on the wrong path. He's like, I tried to steer you the right way, but you fought me every step of the way. He's like, so I gave you over to the one man that could handle you. And he said, now I see you, man. He says, I am proud of you. Man, he made me cry, man. It was like,
man.
I'm a grown man when he said, man, I see you, man. I see a man. I don't see that angry little boy no more. I see a man. And I just
What
had
you
to
say,
tell him,
Will?
bro, you did a good job, man. You did a good
A
job. Because
word, a
when I was
word. That's all that
when I was
was.
going too far, I'm like, hold on, this ain't me. This ain't I'm from the hood, but I'm
Yeah.
Dave and Ernestine's son. You know what I'm saying? They taught me better than this. They taught me how to navigate this neighborhood. They taught me how to navigate the bad things. I don't have to be a part of this shit to be liked by these niggas out here. I walk the way I walk and I talk the way I talk. I don't owe nobody anything but myself. And man, my pops, man, all those things that he instilled in me as a young man that I didn't get as a young man when I grew up, man, it was just so easy to just, like you say, I'll walk away from you, bro. Yeah, I'm actually, I'm stopping myself from doing something to you. It's no
Yeah.
problem. I've seen blood before. I've seen a lot of it,
Mhm.
you know. And the funny thing is when you take martial arts, The funny thing about it is, you're learning how to control yourself. When you step into the right art, they're teaching you how to control you. They're not, yeah, it's self-defense, but it's about controlling your emotions. It's about staying relaxed under tense situations, and it helps you think. But they say, you know, when you're more relaxed, you come up with the right answers. And
Yeah.
so that's what it is. And I try to get these young boys to just like, come on, man, just calm down, bro. Calm down, breathe.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a relief when you see a young brother take that deep breath when he all hyped up, and you be able to have that effect on him, and like, hey man, just it's all right, cool, and you'll see him be like, you
Yeah,
know,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know it's like, damn, cool, I'm cool, I got you. You know, my nephew was off the chain. But now,
hype.
you like I say, you know, he was off the chain. He was into some little knucklehead stuff. And hey, come here, nephew. You know, I've always been in and out of town. So when I came in town, you know, I had a presence. Representation preceded me. So
Right.
when I seen him, on that level, it's like, hey man, no, leave that alone, nephew. I got you. Started out cleaning gutters out, the cleaning gutters, paint, little stuff. And to see him now, to go from where he was, you can see he just needed that word, like you said, with that
Yeah,
word, or just
Yeah.
that
somebody to say,
word.
man, it's gonna be all right. Even though
Yeah.
that's my brother's son, my brother, he was doing the best he could, but he wasn't in putting in him the things he needed for him to succeed at that time. But now they got a great relationship. My nephew, he worked with the wife, you know what I'm saying? I've got him on several jobs and he wants to do that. So it's a different, so it's so important for that male voice to be in their lives like that,
Yeah,
or for them to have access to a male, and that's the thing with a lot of the young ones right now. They don't have access to a male that they might respect, or a man that they might respect or view as someone they can, you know, look up to, or someone who opinion and judgment they value. And when we recognize that, it's up to us as the older guys, the OGs. Once we recognize that, it's okay for us to snatch them up and be like, just for a word or two, just to see them.
Yeah.
I still ride through the old hood. My brother, my gatekeeper. They be like, "Hey, what's up with Bo?" Cats trying to access me, but I don't mess around no more. You know what I'm saying? So when I do go through there, I'm making my business to pull up in the little spots I know everybody hang out at. Hey, what up, man? Hey, what's up, Bo? What's happening, man? What you doing? Oh yeah, oh that's good. Pat on the back. Someone they see as successful or made it, is capable. If they got somebody that's accessible to them, you know, that can change a whole lot of the direction of these young boys
right.
outside of their mothers. Because I know what it did for me to have them fathers that I talked about earlier. They used to see me like, "Oh man, I'm proud." Like you said, when your father said that, he was proud of you. I understand that, man. I like that. I like that being saying like, "Yeah, man, good to see you, boy. Man, I'm proud of you, young man. Yeah, you're doing good." And I'd be like, dang, and to get a hug from an old head.
Oh
I'm
man,
talking,
Man.
yeah,
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 man.
yeah. Get the hug. Come here, man. How you doing,
Yeah,
man?
I just want to
I'm,
bless
I'm
you, boy.
good, man.
Look at you,
You
boy. Look,
know,
I remember when you was a knee high to a
yeah,
stump. Now look
yeah,
at you. You're
yeah,
full
yeah.
grown, you
And a
know.
lot of
Yeah,
times that's
I
all
feel
they
you on that,
need,
though.
man. But yeah,
Yeah,
man. So I think it's to be accessible, and I think some of them don't think they have access to men like us.
yeah.
Oh,
But that's
and
what
that's
this
what
channel
this.
was about, bro.
I was just gonna say that's what this is
That
about.
that's
You
what
yeah,
this
know.
channel was about. I would love for, you know, Phil and Will changed my mind on some things, man. It's like, because I wanted this channel to be just about young men and this and that and the other. Then it expanded to all men. Now it's just to all
mm,
open minds, right?
yeah,
You know, if you're a woman and you having those "why my son hate me" questions, hey man, jump in these comment sections, ask, ask. You
yeah,
know, hey,
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
talk to you. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because I want this. My whole mantra is about rising and flying. We used to ride or die. That destroyed our community. Let's rise and fly.
yeah.
You know,
I like that.
and it's
I
and it's
like
like
that.
the thing for me is Is unity in our community builds opportunities for you and me, right?
Yeah.
So if we come together and we start speaking to the young guys, like Bo said, man, let's snatch these young boys up, give them a hug, a pat on the back, give them some direction. And all we asking is, ladies, sometimes you just got to get out the way. Stop trying to be
Yeah,
Superwoman.
yeah,
Yeah.
Get out the
yeah,
way. No, see, real leaders know when to get out the way and let their
Yeah.
people do what they specialize in.
yeah,
The captain, yeah, he gives directions, but you got an engineer, you got somebody that's
yeah,
steering the ship. He ain't doing everything. He
yeah.
knows
That's
who can do what, and he delegates those duties
That's
according to the situation that's needed. You know, and and that's what a lot of women don't understand. Real leadership, because when a woman told me, "We the leaders in the black community," I said, "You bragging about this community? This what you bragging about?" I said, "Because this shit is decimated. This shit is deplorable." I said,
yeah,
"So now if you want to claim this, we've already lost." And it's like, what y'all need to do is get over your little emotion, your rejection, your
mm-hmm,
whatever.
mm-hmm,
Get over that shit because we're
yeah,
losing too many lives.
yeah.
Violence, having babies, and it's like, like, bruh, y'all can't even wipe y'all ass properly. You
Kids
know what I'm
having
saying?
kids.
Kids having kids, and then you telling me, well, I don't believe in abortion. What? Oh, now you got morals. What happened before all this happened? Where was the morals then?
Oh,
I'm sitting here. My mind is blown by some of the things that grown folks say, and
yeah.
then what they defend when it comes to these young kids. No, if you expect more, you get more.
Yeah.
Kids want direction. They want structure. They
Oh
want
yeah,
They
discipline.
need it,
yeah.
man. They
Yes, they
need
Yeah,
it.
do.
Not
that's
just because they
Yes,
love.
they
want
do.
it. They
Yes, they
That's
need
do.
it, bro.
love.
Yep.
That's
Yeah. Yes,
love.
they do.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
they
So,
do.
definitely what they need, man. You
so
They
know?
I'm
absolutely do want that.
that's what I want to do, man. I want our young guys, man. I want to build a better brother, man. I want these young boys to come out. You know, my overall my whole goal is to have a Rise and Fly Academy, right? It first
Hmm.
starts up here. It's an idea, right? We all talked about the word. They say in the beginning was the word, then it was made flesh. Hey, we speak on it enough, man, we'll be able to develop
Yeah.
physical buildings for these
Yeah.
kids to go to. But right now,
Yeah.
we're just talking to y'all. We'll give y'all a kind word. We'll speak to y'all, talk to y'all. We'll give you that pat on the back. But the overall goal for me at the end of the day, I want to have a facility to where these guys can come and kick it, talk it out or tough it out. So
That's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm
that's
at
just
too, bro.
me and the fellas talking to y'all. Or, man, you want to do some military style training and push ups and
Yeah. Yeah.
burn
Yeah.
that anger out.
Yeah.
You want to hit the
Yeah.
punching bag?
Oh,
Burn that
yeah.
anger out.
Yeah.
You ain't even got to
Yeah.
talk to me, bro. Put them gloves on and
Yeah.
just go. Man, I used to walk into my the little dojo I
Dojo.
used to go to. Little Marine dude, man, ran it right. And he would say, man, you got some fucked up energy, man. Go hit that bag. Don't bring that shit over to me. So you over there punching the bag, boom, 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 boom. For about 15, 20 minutes, you drenched in sweat. He was like, now I can deal with you.
Yeah. Yeah. You done got that up
And,
off for
and
you.
that's what we need.
Yeah.
And see, I
Yeah.
did my thing was I would defer and go into something that you like. Like when people had that energy, you like to draw, go sit down and draw. Go do something that puts your mind
Yep.
at ease. I
Yep.
love music.
Relax it.
I go, come on, man. Come on, let's go make a beat. You
Yeah.
love me. Come on,
Yeah.
listen to this song. So you deterring that energy and putting it into something better. And Rod,
Yep.
I'm like you. I want to build a community as well. I hate that they took all the rec centers out of our neighborhoods.
That was
Think about it.
purposeful.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
oh, we know
Yeah.
that. We know
And
that.
you
But
don't
they
see the
took all
boys
the rec
clubs like
centers
we
out
like we
our
used to see them.
neighborhood. That
Right.
shit drove me nuts because now they don't have a place to go and do. They can't go swim. They can't go shoot ball. They can't go none of that. So now they got this all pent up energy. I want to take some of these old schools, man, and restructure them or get a facility like you say where we can have a mentorship and show them a place where they can just go and get away from mom and dad and just go and be
Yeah. Yeah.
themselves and just and also have a person they can talk to besides mom and dad. I love the fact when I once finally started going to counseling. It was nice to be able to talk to somebody other than my siblings, my auntie, my mama, my daddy, just to talk to somebody that would give me a listening ear.
Mm-hmm.
Say, well, damn, like I like that. I can leave it here and go back and challenge the world a different way. But
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, man. This we building it. We I always said, I think I told you, it starts with me, but right now it starts with us. Because what we're doing right now, we're building that community to where we can have young people or anybody to be able to have a place to talk. This platform gives them a place to express their feelings and conversation, and we can give them some information behind it and either learn from it or not learn from it, but at least it's there.
It's an
Yeah.
outlet.
It's an
Access
Yeah.
outlet.
to an outlet is
Yes.
Yeah.
always a positive thing.
Come
I
on.
believe. I believe that. So I'm definitely for that. And whatever resources I have, it's wide open. And I have a little there some amount of resources to put forth. However it might be. Anything that can assist in building this platform, building the safe space for young men to have that
Right.
outlet.
And
You
just men
know,
in general, bro. It's not
yeah,
just young men. Because
yeah,
sometimes we don't have a place where we can talk as
yeah,
men.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
like I tell you, I've been trying to invite, hey Rod, I've been trying to invite Will out here to this cornhole that I do with the fellas on Thursdays. Hey, look, it's a great outlet and fellowship for brothers just to get together, chop it up, and release the pressures of the week we had before, and a thing like that is as simple as that is. I could imagine what it'll do for some young men and some
Yeah.
older men, just anything that of that nature, to have access to that. And whatever you guys decide to build or put forth your energy towards, you got my 100% support. That's all. I'm definitely with that.
Okay. Sweet.
Love that, man.
Cause,
I
cause
told you, Rod, good people, man. You know I ain't gonna bring nobody to this table that ain't right, Joe.
it's man, it's cool to hear, because I get tired of that narrative that, you know, black men don't hold other black men accountable. Oh yeah, we do. We
Yes, we
just
do.
don't
We
do it
do.
out. We do it amongst us. Cause I'm not here to
Hmm.
embarrass my brothers.
Nah,
Yeah.
not at all,
Bro, I'm gonna
bro.
pull you to the side. If Will ever caught me doing something that's out of character, that's not gonna be on the internet. That's not gonna be on Facebook, Instagram, and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Will gonna come. He gonna call my phone, bruh. Come on, man. What you doing, man?
Yeah.
That ain't you,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
me respecting him, it ain't gonna be no nigga. What you calling me on that bullshit for? Nah, you sit there and you take it, man. You got to take
Yeah.
it because when you hold yourself accountable for your actions, and someone calls you out on those actions, you say, you know what, man, you right, you
Yeah.
right. And it's okay, young man. It's okay to say I was wrong.
Yeah.
It's
And I
okay,
need help.
and I need
Yeah.
A
help.
lot of
Oh, that's a big
times,
one. That's
yeah,
a
Yeah.
big
I
one.
need
Yeah.
help. Can
Yeah.
you help
Yes,
me?
sir.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with, because we don't have all the answers when we coming up.
No, but we can find them
This comes
together
over
though.
time. Yeah, we definitely find them together. And then when they have the support system, they have somebody, like I say, you have a resource that can help you manage those emotions and manage those decisions that you need to develop to the next stage in your life. Oh man, take advantage of those.
Awesome.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hey, bro. We gonna end it here, man, because I know we can talk all day about, especially when it comes to helping out our community, man. But hey, man, I appreciate you, Bo, man.
For sure.
I ain't even gonna ask you to come back. You'll be back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we
Yeah.
gonna have
Yeah.
you on here, man. And it's like, Will, take us up out of here, man. You know how to do it.
Hey man, you know how we do. It's the conversation with Soul Brothers right here on the YouTube page. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and and if you got information that you have that you want us to talk about, don't forget to email us. Sherrod, what's the email, bro?
Hey, you know what? I don't have it set up yet, but it's going to be a conversation with soulbrothers at gmail.com. I'll get on that this evening.
My man. So
Uh,
conversation with the Soul Brothers at gmail.com is coming. So if you have some information that you want us to talk about and be invited, If you have something that you want to talk about and want to be on the podcast itself, let us know so we can send that link and zoom you in. That way you could be a part of the conversation. We want that. All right. Bo, thank you for coming in and
Hey
joining
man,
us tonight.
appreciate it.
You
Appreciate
definitely
the
be
invite.
back. You're part of the conversation as of right now, my brother.
All right, love it. Appreciate you, brothers.
Appreciate
All
you,
right,
Yeah,
homie.
Rob.
yeah.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Appreciate
I
it.
Peace.
holla.
All right.